everyone, Kristina here with your Twin Flame, Sacred Soulmate, and Divine Love Partnership reading for the week of November 28th through December 4th. Thanks so much for joining me. If you'd like a personal private reading with me, or if you'd like to order any of the decks you see me using here today, I will leave all of that information down below. So the way that the energy readings work is I pull 3 cards for each partner, and the energy that where they're at right now, energy that's drawing them toward the union, energy pulling them away from the union, and 1 card that sort of gives an overview of the entire union altogether, and 1 card that is the advice to get us through the week. You'll notice that I don't assign each partner to be feminine or masculine, and part of the reason for that is because in order to bring ourselves into union, it depends on each partner bringing their masculine and feminine into balance. So instead of that, what I do is I pull a card from the Gods and Titans and Goddesses and Sirens decks to show what aspects of the masculine and feminine are trying to come into balance this week. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first set of cards are going to correspond to you, the twin who is watching this video, and then the other twin is, your divine counterpart. So for those of you who are watching right now, your energy at the moment is the 10 of Skies. And yeah, it's been a rough go, okay? And right now you're just really tired. And this is not being down and out though, so you're not hitting any kind of a rock bottom. It's just that you are exhausted from, just this year, this last episode that you've had with your twin, the last chapter of your interactions and your connection. The 10 of Skies, or the suit of Skies, corresponds to the suit of Swords or the air element in traditional tarot. And birds are messengers. And so what this card is really talking about as far as our energy is concerned is as messengers, sorry, and I didn't finish my sentence. The suit of Swords and the element of air corresponds to truth, communication, the intellect, and so this little bird is just tired of thinking about everything, thinking about this whole twin flame relationship thing just, on blast for the last little bit of time. This little bird is also exhausted from playing the messenger and bringing in truth, playing that role for our counterpart. And so, as an energy for right now, it's like, yeah, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and you just want to give it a rest. Which actually goes with the energy that's pulling you away from the union is the 4 of Skies, and this is the card of rest and repose. And so actually it's this position is supposed to be about like what's pulling the person away from the union, and it's not so much that you're moving away from union, but in order to move toward it, you really just need to rest, like just give the union a rest. So this is as far as an energy that's pulling you away from union, this is just pulling away in general. Just not obsessing on this whole union thing. Okay, now the energy drawing you toward union though is the Star. And I really love this. For as tired as you are, you can see this person is still looking up. They have hope. This is a card about hope and about kind of knowing that what's for you, this nice pink glowing area here, that love that's there for you is there for you, even though it feels so far away and so out of reach, and maybe maybe it's not going to happen for you, like that idea, it feels like that. But the thing that's drawing you toward union is that continued faith, that deep inner knowing that what's for you won't miss you, okay? It won't pass you by. And sometimes you'll notice like this person actually isn't moving toward any particular star, there's not a single star that they're moving toward. They're just being still and looking upward at the entire sky. So for you, the energy drawing you into union is, or toward union, drawing you toward union, is knowing that it's time to just be still and rest and know that it's out there, okay? Even if you don't know how close or how far away it is. All right, so moving to your partner, their current energy is the Six of Farms. And this corresponds to the Six of Coins or Six of Pentacles in traditional tarot. This is a nice little bit of news. Your partner is probably more comfortable being generous than receiving generosity. And, you know, especially if you have been the messenger, and feeling like you're coming up against kind of a brick wall with them, they are in a position of receiving now. And even though you are not going to be like necessarily together and in their face, okay, because you need to step back, they are open and receptive to all of the people around them who've been, you know, offering help and support. What I'm getting is that this partner is they're more in they're moving closer to aligning with, you know, more of a give and take, more balance of give and take. And if they've been in retreat in some ways, this is also, you know, this is breaking bread. So they're also starting to give themselves some support or seek out social support, be more embedded in their social networks where they might have been withdrawing for a while. Okay, the card that is drawing them away from the union, or pulling them away from pulling them away from union, is the Eight of Seas. And, you know, it's like both of you are kind of doing the same thing right now. It's just like walking away from stuff, pulling yourself out of being obsessed with the union, the relationship. And for the divine counterpart, this isn't about walking away from you. This is about walking away from all their bullshit, okay? So all that stuff you've been trying to show them, and, you know, that showing them the light or whatever is going on in your particular dynamic, they figure out, like on their own, that they are done and tired of their own nonsense. And so they start walking away from, you know, this whole pile of, you know, like I said, pile of bullshit that they've built for themselves, and they're walking toward their own light. They're starting to see like, I'm just tired of this and I got to do something different. So this is very good news. They're not walking away from you. And you'll actually see that when we get to some of the later cards. Nobody can outrun the connection, okay? But whether or not you actually come together in 3D union is this other thing that we're all kind of obsessed with, all right? So what's bringing them toward union is the High Priestess, and this is beautiful, you guys. This is really wonderful because, you know, if for those of you who are watching this video, to use kind of the traditional lingo of twin flames, it's like you're the more awakened twin. And, you know, I really subscribe to everybody's awake and doing their stuff. But whether or not they're ready to let go of their, you know, whatever it is that they're holding on to is sort of the different story. So this is actually about them becoming more comfortable listening to their own intuition. I love that this is the High Priestess. It's not, you know, the Queen of Cups or the Moon. This is the highest feminine, spiritual feminine card that there is in the deck. And what I really like about this card in particular is how prominent that moon is, how bright the moon is. They're following their own intuition and it's lighting their way. What they used to kind of dismiss as, oh, you know, those are just my thoughts. Those thoughts, those fleeting thoughts are now becoming much brighter to them. They trust it as their own intuition, and they're starting to follow it and take action using that knowledge. So this is really, on your divine counterpart side, this is all really lovely news and development. Okay, They're in a place that's more receptive. They are willing to listen to and follow their own intuition. This is great. Okay, so now going back to you who are watching, the feminine and masculine energies that are wanting to come into balance. We have first for the feminine aspect is Brigid, which is healing. And the story that's about her that's really coming forward here is when her son was killed in battle, her grief started to turn to hatred. She was so angry and in despair about it that all of that feeling started to harden her. But what kind of saved her was her willingness and ability to express that grief. And so the feminine aspect here is wanting you to, here it is, to go ahead and allow yourself to grieve for the end of this last very difficult chapter you came out of. Okay, express the grief, allow it to move through you so that it can pass and let it go, so it doesn't accumulate in your body. All right. And the reason why you need to grieve that is because you have to let go of the dynamic of the relationship that made it unsustainable. Okay, and that's actually what's coming in with the divine masculine aspect that wants to be in balance. So Osiris is an Egyptian deity who represents renewal. You can see that on the card, resurrection, and rebirth. And so what the masculine and feminine aspects are the dynamic between these two aspects are kind of pulling for you is allow yourself to grieve, let go of this previous chapter so that something new can be rebuilt. Okay? The union, you have to have faith that the union resurrects itself in a much better and stronger form, not in the form that makes you feel like you've got 10 swords in your back or that you're a little bird who just cannot take it anymore. Okay? So that's all really good news. And it's interesting because the divine masculine, your counterpart, look at me stuck in that paradigm anyway, or in that duality anyway. Your counterpart has, in terms of the feminine aspect, Lilith, and she is about equality and balance and being feminine forward. And so for your counterpart, this is a really encouraging sign because it's kind of like the high priestess trusting the feminine, allowing the feminine to take up just as prominent a role in their internal guidance system as their masculine elements. And it's funny because the masculine element that's being balanced out here is Thor. So Thor, is all action. It's big, thunderous action too. And so the two of them together, these two energies balancing each other out, are about, this one not being, having the masculine not be the only kind of energy that your partner can express or that can inhabit. It's about they are actually being able to let their divine internal feminine aspect come more forward and feeling more confident and comfortable in that. Now, what's interesting too about this is that Lilith here is, if you've seen that Da Vinci drawing of the Vitruvian Man, this drawing echoes that. And actually, so earlier this week, I ordered a Da Vinci tarot deck, and it just arrived a couple days ago, so it's on my desk. I'm going to pull a card for this and see what else is in here, because, yeah, that really caught my eye. Okay, so it's this Da Vinci Enigma tarot. There we go. The Way Shower. And this is the equivalent of the star, which is what you got. And you know, it's also echoing the High Priestess, this moon in the High Priestess card, lighting the way for your divine counterpart. You guys, this is really beautiful. It's that, you know, they're letting their own internal feminine guide them. And you know what else I'm getting from this is that if you have been this messenger to them and you're tired, it's like this card is telling you that you've been heard, that they're starting to take action toward, you know, toward the things that they know are better for them. Okay, things like their way of being in the world, healthier habits, things like that. You know, these divine love partnerships, twin flames in particular, are usually marked by some kind of codependency dynamic. And part of the ways that those codependent habits can form is because there's, you know, abandonment or addiction or something like that going on in the union. And this card is just telling you that you've been heard, that you showed them the way, and you do need to step back. You don't have anything more that you need to be doing now because you've been heard. They are a little slow on the uptake, but they are starting to take action. And, you know, for them it might be that they need to tell themselves it was their own idea. But regardless, you've had an effect, and it's really wonderful. Okay, so let's go on to the overall energy of the union for the week. And we have the Guardian. Okay, so this is the union in connection to spirit. And I mean, it's almost a direct reflection of that. But what I really see going on here is this is one twin, and they are going through life. They are starting, you know, they're making themselves, each of you are making yourselves emotionally bare. You are, all of those walls, all that protection is coming down. And it's because you know that you have your twin with you, that you carry them with you wherever you go. Even if you're not in contact or communication with each other, that influence that you have on them is in the back of their mind, as they are always with you too. This is also about continuing to trust, okay? Just remembering that you are, that this union is divinely guided, and so the divine is here kind of pushing you along and making sure the ground meets your feet every time you take a step, okay? This is beautiful. This is really lovely. This is a really encouraging sign, particularly because both partners are kind of doing a really meaningful walking away or stepping away from the relationship or from the union, and kind of getting on with and shaping their lives individually away from the union, away from the relationship. It's important and it's necessary, okay? And actually that goes to the advice card for the week, which is, it's card number 50, Consider Your Foundation. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Oops, there we go. And actually what I'm seeing here, it's not about like continuing to be committed. And if, you know, the commitment part is really about trusting, okay? Trusting that it's there for you, trusting that it's on the horizon, that you just need to keep moving forward on your own kind of wholeness path. But it's really, what's really jumping for me is the Consider Your Foundation. The reason why everybody has to step away right now is because the way the dynamics that were in place, the foundations that you had before were shaky. They cannot sustain they're not strong enough to support a sustained connection to that divine infinite love. Okay, because for any number of reasons, I mean, probably the best example I can give is however you were responding to the election. Okay, this probably triggered a lot of people. I know it triggered me. And for me personally, it was very difficult to stay connected to that high vibrational love. And remember that when you're connected to high vibrational love, it is not about the love you have for your partner. Okay, high vibrational love is not the same as romantic love. And really, twin flames, divine partnerships, they may not actually come together in the 3D. All right, so remember that's one of the premises, and you have to be okay with that. The reason, like I said, the reason why everybody is stepping away, I actually totally lost my train of thought. So stepping away. Oh, right, because the way the relationship was before, you weren't, like, one and or both of you, probably both of you, were not in a place to maintain a connection to that infinite unconditional love. So it's not, like I said, oh, here we go. It's not just about the connection to your romantic partner or to your twin as a romantic partner, but it's about your love for everything, for all of creation. Okay, and the reason I brought up the election is because probably you were getting triggered, you were getting angry at people, and it made it very difficult for you to continue to be compassionate and patient and not want to just call them a bunch of names. That feeling of being on fire with that kind of anger and kind of antipathy toward other people is the thing that pulls us away from union, because it pulls us away from a sustained connection with high vibrational love. Okay, so this card is giving you a little bit of reassurance about why. Sorry, I'm losing my cards. About why the retreating. Sorry, now I just have too many things in my hand. Why the retreating, the stepping away, why this is necessary, okay? It's because the foundation that all that was built on before is not strong enough to sustain, is not strong enough to support it. So you have to go ahead and grieve. Where is it? Yeah. Go ahead and grieve the chapter of the union or the relationship that's ending. Grieve that, of course. It's hard when we're walking away from people, but grieve it so that it can be rebuilt again anew, so that it's stronger and is going to be the kind of thing that can take you through the long haul. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being here with me today, and I will check in with you again next week. Bye-bye.